I don't know what happened. I set it at 8 and it went to 11. Okay, I don't know. I didn't change it. I just changed it back. Let's hope. Everybody, I didn't want to sit in my house this morning. Okay, I like to get out, get some fresh air. So I'm coming to the park in Beverly Hills. But I want to show you behind those hedges, all right, that home that we can't see, all right, used to belong to President Donald Trump. But he sold it a long time ago. So let's walk to here to the park, and as you can see, they're doing some construction. I tell you, no matter where you go here in town, there's construction. Lindy, I don't know. What's going on here? And out with it. I'm going to do it anyway. How you doing? Hey, guys working. They're building something over there. I don't know what. Let's take a walk. What do you mean it's frozen? I don't know. There's a time saying 1:43. All right, there's Petty. Thank you. Good morning. How are you, Petty? Pendergrass. All right. I don't know what happened, folks. Technology and me just don't get along. Well, take a walk with me over here. You can see they built something here. I think they built restrooms. I don't know what that's going to be over here. But this park is located on Sunset Boulevard, right across the street from the Beverly Hills Hotel. I like to come up here and see the fish. They got a nice little pond over here. There's a nice, beautiful girl walking over there. Hey, you never know. The great place. I come here and I just take a big walk around the park, get a walk in. You know, at 80 years old, I don't know where I get my energy from, but I definitely have it. I feel like I'm 20, but I know I'm not. KJ Gore. Is this Jerkmate? Yeah, this is Jerkmate. I hope you are a Diddy follower. Okay? These folks. People are really something. Okay? Lindy, just delete those people right out. Good morning. All right. You know what? As I said yesterday, I'm sick and tired of talking about Diddy. But it seems like the whole world. Hey, Bob, thank you. You're so kind. All right? You know, Lindy, take that guy, Bob Sweet, right out. Okay? Take him right out. So, let me tell you, there's a lot of assumptions, a lot of people lying like heck about Diddy over here. And look, I don't know the exact facts, okay? So let's do some speculation here, okay? We all know Diddy is a bad boy. His company was Bad Boy Records, all right? And folks, you know, if you don't leave the comments, you're respectful, and follow the community guidelines, okay, Lindy or YouTube is going to take you right out. Tell you right now, So, you like me, don't like me, don't make a difference to me, folks. Okay? And whether Diddy gets time served and walks out of prison, or whether he gets 20 years, it's not going to make a difference to me. It don't make a difference to you. It's not going to change our lives. But yet, he gets more press than the President of the United States. And it's really ridiculous. You know how I got involved in YouTube and really what brought me to start talking about Diddy? What happened here to my screen? Okay. What really got me started was, if you remember, way back in the early days, some guy trying to get likes, comments, and subscribers had two guys go to his back of his house as though they were private investigators working for Diddy, when in fact they were not. Okay? Now, you know what? I get a lot of threats. People don't understand what a threat is meaningless, folks. Okay? Take action. Don't be a punk. Okay? See, I don't threaten people. I just do what I got to do. When you threaten, you're a nobody. But let's talk about Diddy here for a moment. There's something going on that none of us know. And we're not going to know till October 3rd. People write at me and saying, oh, he paid out just submarinium. He paid out the prosecutors. Marine Comey. That could have been possible. I got to admit it. See, when you have money and the kind of money that Diddy had, all right, you can do a lot of things. Now, Diddy did have a lot of power. And he had a big following. So, in my opinion, okay, I think his lawyers hurt him and damaged him very bad. Because they, right in court, began their thing. Your Honor, we realize our our defendant is very violent. No, a lot of people don't understand violence, what it is in the court system. Yesterday, the prosecutors, Jay Clayton, listed over 50 man acts very similar to Diddy, where some of them got the maximum of 10 years. And the reason they got it was because of the violence. Now, of course, Diddy's lawyers came up with a lot more cases, all right, where they got like 2 years, all right? So, you got this guy over in England. This guy over in England, Muriel, whatever his name is, okay? He surely got some sort of in over here. I mean, he's on YouTube all day long, all right? He wants to talk about every star. And, I happen to know London very well, okay? There's a lot of stories he could be talking to about in London, all right? There's a lot of criminal things, like my friend Charlie Bronson, who's been in prison 50 years. 50 years he's been in prison for robbery. All right, you got to check Charlie Bronson out. Made a movie after him. Tom Hardy played him. It was a great movie. It gave Tom Hardy his beginning. And 50 years. Mura, whatever your name is. Why don't you do a story on him? Oh, what about when my best mate, this is my third son, Joey Pyle, he was in prison for over a year. Him and a few of my other mates. Okay? You know, in that trial, it was like every other day. My name was mentioned. Over in London. The Joey was in worldwide things with Ori Spado here in Los Angeles. All right? Oh, I know I get off the beaten path over here, and I'm at the point. You know, folks. I'm going to ask you here. All right, we don't have a lot of people. It says 19 people. Okay, we got 7 likes over here. Okay, so please subscribe if you have not subscribed yet, and you know, Love Bug, you want some advice? Whatever you need, my friend. If I can help you, I will. But, let's talk about Allie Carter. Other people are talking about her, and I seen something, and I talked to you about Too Strong, all right, which is a very good podcast these two guys got, okay? 17 is a little young, Love Bug. Wait till she's 18, okay? You don't want to get in trouble. Oh boy, she might be pregnant. You're going to find out Friday. Well, if you're in love, love is a very special thing. I was in love a few times. I'd like to fall in love again, honestly. But let's talk about Allie Carter. She's an out and out fraud. She talks about how she was with Diddy, how he molested her, how he beat her, on all those things. All right? She talks that she's Tupac's daughter. Tupac didn't have a daughter. She's not Tupac's daughter. Okay? She talked about tunnels under Diddy's house. There are none. She said there was a Starbucks there. A Starbucks in a tunnel under Diddy's house. So how could anybody believe her? I mean, give me a break. Okay? This girl really just keeps walking around. I should do that. Get my walk in here. Walk around the pool. Why am I sitting here? Okay? Love Bug, if you love her and she loves you, then that's magic. And okay, God bless you. If she's pregnant, be a good father. That's my advice to you, my friend. Okay? I want to tell you about when I got indicted. And a real indictment, a real RICO indictment, a real one with 14 of us from the Colombo crime family. Okay, everybody got arrested and indicted in New York. One person from Beverly Hills, California, Ori Spado. We had a feeling it was coming, and it did come. I'll never forget that morning. All right. They had cars all around my block. There had to be 20 or 30 FBI agents, LAPD, and the Beverly Hills Police. It was crazy, folks. And they came, they arrested me. They bring me to downtown Los Angeles. Chained, shackled, and cuffed. And first thing they do, they got me up in this office or whatever. And taking my mug shot, fingerprints, all that good stuff. All right. And then they set me in a room. It was a little room. I'll tell you about, okay, about the size of you put a wall right here. All right, that would have been the room. There was a table, and they set me in the back in the corner of the table. They had chairs all around that table. Okay? And then in comes walking. Agent after agent. They had the FBI, the DEA, the ITF, and they had every alphabet. They all sat down. They all came in with notepads, all ready to take notes. See, what they were trying to do was get me to become an informant. They all sat down and they said, okay, Mr. Spado, you have a chance here. My words back to them is, gentlemen, I want my lawyer here. I'm not talking. Each and every one of them got right up and walked out of the room. Okay? That's what happens when you keep your mouth shut. And next thing you know, boom, I'm downstairs below the courthouse and what they call the bullpen. There's Dirk Wiedener. Where are you from, Dirk? All right? Wisconsin, how are you? Okay? So I had to sit there till, look at, they had me from 6 a.m. They had me sitting there till 3 p.m. when they changed, shackled me to other guys and bring us up into the courthouse to a magistrate. My lawyer was there. My son was there with the bail bondsman. I thought I was going to get bail. All right? I didn't get bail. Okay? The U.S. attorney there in Los Angeles said that I had outstanding warrants and that they held me because of that. So I told the judge to just extradite me to New York. Okay, because that's where the case was. That's when I found out it was a RICO case. My lawyer out here, he told me a long time ago that if it was a RICO case, and I have one of the best lawyers here, he says, Ori, I don't defend like RICO cases. I don't know anything about it. Okay? That's a good lawyer that tells you the truth. Okay? His name was Danny Brookman. All right? He handled a lot of my state stuff, handled everything for me. And so next thing you know, now they take me. And now they're processing me into MDC in Los Angeles, which I gotta tell you, it's much better. MDC Los Angeles, all right, the units there are much cleaner, the building's much newer, and much cleaner than MDC Brooklyn, okay? And plus, there was a big patio, okay, that, we can go out, take a break, and be in the sun, all right? Finally, the day came. Thank you, Taylor, I appreciate that. Hey, folks, you know what? I got to tell you before I go on, okay, that yesterday morning I did a live show. You know how much I made from YouTube? $1.26. So for everybody thinks that I make money from YouTube, okay, I don't. I only got 11,000 subscribers, so help me out, okay? And there's a thanks button there, all right? Folks, you could send me a thanks button. You want to, help me out. I'm an old man. Came out of prison with $150 in my name. So, but anyhow, getting back to prison. And now they process us in and all that stuff here, okay? And now they bring a few of us. I'm Italian, they got black guys, they got Spanish guys. We get to a unit. Once the unit door is open, all right? First person that came up to me was Aryan couple guy, okay? He says, "Are you white?" I go, "I'm Italian." He said, "Come with me." Okay? And so, and the black guys went with the black, Spanish went with the Spanish, and so forth. That's how prison is, all right? So, prison is one of the most places that's more segregated than any place else. And, you got to respect that there. That's how it is, all right? Every nationality, every color tries to help each other out, okay, when you're in prison. And so MDC Los Angeles was not bad. Lindy, my moderator, okay? There's my moderator, sends me $10, folks, okay? This gal is working for me, and she paying me. God bless her, okay? All right? Well, anyways, finally the day comes. It was about a week I was at MDC Los Angeles, and they come get me early in the morning, drive me to Victorville. That's where the Conair flies in and out of from there. And I flew me to New York. And first Oklahoma, okay? You go through Oklahoma, which is a holding center, and then you gotta wait for the plane to go to New York. You're there another few days, okay? The system of prison is very draining on a person. So you're chained, shackled, brought from one place to the next. Finally, I get to New York, and once again, I go in front of the magistrate there, and guess what? The U.S. Attorney apologizes and says, "Your Honor, we made a mistake. We want to apologize to court that Mr. Spado does not have any outstanding warrants. We mistook him for somebody else," which, as you know, was a lot of crap, okay? It was all the fix because I had availability of having bail bondsmen at my disposal. And so I didn't get bail. And then they said that I was a violent person. I didn't get bail. I got denied bail 4 times. Now, once you're in the unit, you're with your people, you're settled, okay? Being in prison, honest to God, okay, as long as you're not a rat or a woman beater or you abuse children, you okay, okay? Just keep your mouth shut, do your time, and so forth. But the most terrible part, particularly about MDC Brooklyn, was the fact that every time you had to go to court, okay, you're strip searched, you got to put on a new suit, you got to wait for the bus to leave, and there's a lot of buses. There's a lot of buses going to different courts, going to different prisons. It's a wait time, okay? Be it on that bus, driven to court, then you're put in the bullpen. Now you got to wait in that bullpen until it's your time that they take you to your court in front of your judge. All right? When you're through in the courtroom, then you're back down in that bullpen. All right? With about 15, 17 other guys. All right? Somebody asked me if I was a lawyer. No, but I studied the criminal law. I studied the RICO, and I know quite a bit about the RICO, how it works, and that, honestly to God, it's illegal and unconstitutional law. Okay, as many of our laws are. And person responsible for that was Richard Nixon, who signed it into law. But if you really seriously study it, okay, you will read he didn't sign that in law to go after the mafia, because J. Edgar Hoover was the FBI director at the time, and he wasn't coming after us for sure. And folks, is there anybody else that could hit that thanks button? Even if it's $1.99. Okay, show a little love, little respect for me. I appreciate that. But look at it. Every day that Diddy had to go to court. And that process, when now you waited there, now you got to wait for everybody else who's on that bus to go to court. And now you don't leave that courthouse till after 5 p.m. Now they got to drive you from the courthouse. He was at Pearl Street in Manhattan, back to Brooklyn to MDC. You get to the gate, there's other buses in front of you. You got to sit in that bus until they bring you inside, take you out, change your garb, get you back to your unit. By the time you get back to your unit, thank you, Suave. I appreciate that there. $5 for Suave. God bless you. All my love and respect to you. I really appreciate it, folks. It really, seriously does help me. Okay? Anyways, that's very tormenting. Every shit. And Diddy was doing that. How many weeks was that trial? 6 weeks? Every single day. Okay, by the time you get back in your unit, it's 9 o'clock at night. Everything goes down. Okay? You're back in your cell. Well, he's not in his cell. Okay? And let's make clear where Diddy is at. Because people are saying, what a rough time he's having in prison. All right? He's having a rough time in prison only because of himself. Okay? It's not anybody else's fault. They have him in a unit in the old building. We called it the old building and new building. The old building is dorms. All right, I hated dorms. All right, and they made, this is like a special housing unit. There's only 20 inmates there. Yes, you got Sam Bankman, the crypto guy, Mangione, the guy who won alive, that health insurance executive, and people like that there. Probably some cops that are in there, all right, and things like that there, and so he's not in any danger wherever he's at. There's barely 20 feet. He's not in general population. Now, there have been a lot of rumors around about Diddy being an informant. But I haven't seen any receipts to that effect. So, I don't know if he was an informant or not. But, I mean, there's plenty of rumors out there. Now, there's another guy that he used to be very close to years ago, who happened to be a very friend of mine. That's Jimmy Henchman. Have you heard of Jimmy Henchman? Jimmy was a good friend of mine. We had a lot of respect for each other. We met many times, okay? And Jimmy's doing life in prison. I was in prison when they picked him up. He knew it was coming. He had the money and everything. I don't know uh, why he didn't leave the country, but he didn't. Okay, and he lost the trial, and he's doing life. Now I'm discovering a lot of things that they're saying Jimmy Henchman was an informant many, many years ago. And then he proffered, trying to get his time reduced. No, obviously he didn't do good proffering centers because he didn't get his sentence reduced. So he didn't give anybody up. Now this is only my thinking, okay? Are there investigations going on about Diddy right now, about Tupac or Biggie, Kim Porter, and many others? See, because those crimes of people being unalive, there's no statute of limitation, okay? They could bring charges 50 years later, okay? If they have the evidence, if they have the proof. Is there anybody still around that might know something about it, know how it happened? People are saying, did he pay $1 million? Well, nobody. How would Diddy pay $1 million? Even Diddy going to the bank and say, give me $1 million in cash, they're not going to give it to him. He's going to have to wait a few days. And is Diddy going to pay by check? So they're saying he gave a check. Well, if that's the case, why doesn't the FBI have that check? Because it's very easy to find. So I'm not seeing none of that there. These are my thoughts, folks. Those are my thoughts. Tell me what you think. What are your thoughts? Do you think Diddy's going to get time served? If he does, then you know that the fix was in. I think Diddy's looking at some serious times. Very serious. I don't think he's going to get time served. And Judge Submarinian, the only thing he did wrong was not sequestering the jury. Oh, people want to tell me, oh, it cost a lot of money and this and that. Okay? Compared to what they spent, it's peanuts. Okay? And I guarantee you, if the jury was sequestered, there would have been a different verdict on the RICO. Lindy, I'm glad you brought up KK, because we're not hearing from her, which is very funny. Now, once again, let's talk about KK. Her name was mentioned all over the place. She was Diddy's Ghislaine Maxwell. She knows where everything lies. She is in charge. Now, is she in charge of the propaganda machine? Because Diddy has a propaganda machine. You see some of the people coming in here and try to threaten me, okay? That's part of Diddy's propaganda machine. He's paying for that there, you know? But somebody on the outside isn't in control of that, in charge of it. And I'm assuming it's KK, Christina Coram, okay? And why didn't she testify? Why didn't the bodyguards testify? Why? Do they know something that we don't know? Because, you know, in R. Kelly's case, everybody testified against him. his bookkeeper, his accountant, his assistants, everybody. But yet, none of those testified against Diddy. So, how much money did Diddy pay them? Had to be quite a bit. As we know, he's still paying Daphne, all right, paying her rent, $10,000 a month. Okay. Hey, look at over there. Look at the turtles. See the turtles on the rock? Oh, little baby turtles. Huh? Margaret, this was erected in 1912. That's even before I was born. All right? Diddy's not bankrupt. R. Kelly, Diddy possibly can become bankrupt. He's got 100 civil cases. I predict he'll win half of them, half will get dropped. Okay? But he's going to pay out on a lot of others. And it's just my theory, folks. So now, does Jay Clayton have Christine Quorum and his bodyguards, security team? Will they come out with a new indictment? We can only wait and see, folks. I don't have that answer. I'm not going to say that I do. Okay? We don't know yet, JC. His sentencing is October the 3rd. And on that date, we'll all know how much time Diddy will get. But his attorneys, the judge did, his attorneys, everything the judge asked them to do, they're not doing. Okay, so they're really upsetting the judge. Why? Are they doing it intentionally? See, these are all questions, all right? You might be right, 15 years, Lindsay. I'm predicting 10 to 15, okay? And if he gets that, he should kiss the ground that he walks on. Thank you, John. There's a lot of love here. Well, if you notice, I came here a little bit earlier today, all right? Normally I go on at 11. I gotta be honest, it's like that breaks up my entire day. And I am 80. You see that I still move around like very good. I got my memory and all that there, so I'm very blessed and fortunate about that there. And I am blessed. Yeah, Lindy is my mod. There, folks, there's the Beverly Hills Hotel. This here is Sunset Boulevard. See the signs, Cannon Drive, Rodeo Drive over there. These bring you to Crescent, Rexford, different streets. So look at. Well, I'll tell you, Lindy has a lot of work here. A lot of people like to come on, and I don't even know how YouTube allows them to come on because they release such nasty messages against the guidelines. Why can't people be respectful and nice? I'm not here to harm nobody. Thank you, Inspector. All right? Thank you, wonderful. Wantlet. Okay? Now, Iceland Nationalist. Another idiot right there. Take him out, Lindy. All right? Thank you, John. I appreciate that. Okay? You know, Lindy, from now on, instead just take them out, block them. Okay? I don't like blocking people. But, you know, like you said, they come here, they come back with different names, different things. Okay? Do what you got to do, Lindy. I appreciate it. All right, folks. Well, it's only 8:39 in the morning here. You know what I'm going to do today? It's a beautiful day. You see the sun shining. Okay, I'm going to go out and get a little sun. I have not had my breakfast yet. Uh, I'm going to be doing that there. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you, Tim. All right, everybody, have a great, blessed day. As usual, all my love and respect. If you did not hit that subscribe button yet, please do. All right, I hope you folks enjoyed this. I know I was a little, uh, uh, there's Admiral Kirk. All right, take him out, Lindy. All right, folks, everybody have a blessed day. God bless you. Be safe. All my love and respect to you all. Thank you very much. Take care.